Okay guys, welcome! This is the True 23 Volts channel and welcome to the Valley of Lightning and Thunder. And the only reason I'm calling it this is because VOLT Volt. Ha ha ha, I'm so funny. So this is the intro video to my channel. I want to kind of make this a, not necessarily like a very formal or an actual intro, but kind of an intro video to see what kind of content that I'm probably going to put up. But however, for this video, I'm just going to be doing the Fire Emblem Awakening voice meme. Now, this has obviously been me just looking up stuff, because if you don't realize right now, I am a massive fan of Fire Emblem. And so, maybe just doing this as my intro video, you can already tell what kind of content you might see most likely to be on this channel. So, as before I did this, I was actually doing a Let's Play on Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, my favorite game and first game I've ever played. Unfortunately, due to my computer having to be completely wiped due to certain things getting on there, viruses and stuff, just kind of crashed it and I just had to delete everything. So that entire project is cancelled, but I do plan on starting it up again. But right now, I am actually in university, so I'm a little busy with that kind of stuff. But anyway, so today we're going to be doing the Fire Emblem Awakening voice meme, which is what I found as I was just exploring some Fire Emblem stuff, and I thought, hey, you know what, this sounds pretty cool, so I may as well give it a try. So anyway, here we go. Okay, so first of all, I am the true 23 Volt, aka 23 Volt, but you may call me Volt or whatever around those lines. Those are kind of the tag names that you're going to be seeing throughout this... or throughout my games, like whenever I play it. I'll most likely just stick with Volt if it's like an RPG kind of thing, but if it's just like a screen like game such as Town of Salem, which I sometimes play with my friends, I would go 23 Volt. Actually no, I can't do that, I have to stick with Volt. Oh well, in any case, I use one of those two names, and yeah, there's my little picture back there. Isn't he cool? The reason I chose this picture is because, well, the name originated from the character 9 Volt from WarioWare. However, I do like anime. So I was like, okay, let's see if I can find a picture of 9 Volt who looks like an anime character, and surely enough, there's one right there, and he looks pretty cool. So, that is my screen character. Shout out to the guy who drew this, by the way. I forget who you are, but really, I don't want to take him from him, he belongs to you. So where am I from? I am born and raised in Australia. Perth, Australia, on the west side. However, that does not make me of Australian blood. I grew up in Australia, but I am actually Filipino. Both my parents were from the Philippines, they came here and gave birth to me! Hurrah! And that's all you're gonna get. You're not gonna get my exact location. So my name, age, and nickname. So my true name is Anthony James Jamal. I'm currently, actually, due to this slide, I'm actually no longer 17. I made this kind of presentation not a long time ago, just a few months ago. And you can see that my date of birth is the 23rd of the 4th, so probably whenever this gets uploaded, you can probably guess how far back I did this. But I'm actually 18 now, so yay me, I'm 18. Hardy, hardy, yeah! Okay, as for nicknames, obviously I can go by Anthony. When I used to play for my Australian Rules Football Club, I would go by the name Ant. At home, I would be called AJ. Sometimes I'd be called Tony, due to some teachers thinking, you know, Anthony's nickname for this is Tony, but that's my dad's name, so I can't really have that. Android, just because in high school, I was... and during my entire life at high school, you would always see me with headphones and listening to music in at least one ear. So one of two people there, like two friends of mine, they would just call me Android just because they always saw wires sticking out of my head. So I was an Android, and I have an Android phone, which is why I pretty liked it. And probably the biggest nickname I've ever had throughout my entire life, especially in high school, was Asian. Due to a little mistake which caused me to react to someone calling out Asian, because I was talking to someone else. They were calling my name, they were saying Anthony, 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 and I told them to hold up a second. As soon as I finished talking, it just so happens they just called out Asian. I turn around and now I was called, and I turned around to respond to them, and then I was called Asian for the rest of my high school life. But it was hard at first because I did find it a little tad bit offensive, but I kind of grew on it because, hey, I'm Filipino. I'm Southeast Asian. I really give no shit now. So how was I introduced to the Fire Emblem series? Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. My god. Oh, speaking of Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, this song is awesome! I'm getting goosebumps right now. So, yes, Fire Emblem Sacred Stones was the first game that I really enjoyed on my Game Boy Advance. I mean, I've played other games like on the N64, on the NES, and all that kind of stuff, and this was when I was like a toddler little kid. But as soon as I got my Game Boy Advance, the two games I got was Zoo Cube, which is a game I don't remember. Oh, it was actually multiple. There was Zoo Cube, a Harry Potter game, which I played a lot, and a good friend of mine. He gave me this 106 games in one pack, where the first two games were Sacred Stones and Batman Begins, and a bunch of other like NES games like I can't remember, like Duck Hunt and Circus, Excite Bike, and all the lovely small games that the NES had. And Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, he told me, give this game a try, and when I first played it, I had no idea what was going on. Back when I was a kid, I did know a lot about chess, so I thought it was just like a very cool looking chess game, because it was there were pieces and it was kind of a grid-based form. This is the first time I've ever seen it. So after playing for a bit, I kind of just got bored because I didn't know what was going on, and I put it down. Later on in the years, a game called Super Smash Bros. Melee comes out. And I would see these two characters, and me being a little kid, I was just playing for fun, but these two older fellas were just talking about these Fire Emblem characters known as Marth and Roy. And then, to me, that word Fire Emblem was like, I've heard this song, I've heard this name before, but I didn't know when. So I went back into my Game Boy Advance, and surely enough, Fire Emblem was there, so I gave it a play, and from then on, I've been a Fire Emblem fan, just because I love the characters, I love the gameplay. It's why I love, like, the weapons. If you want to ask what my favorite weapons is, there would be swords, bows, lances, axes. I give no shits for guns or lightsabers or anything. Medieval weapons are where it's at. And it's anime characters, which I never realized I liked until a much older age, but I don't know, they were pretty cool. Anyway, so this is an interesting one. Ships, OTPs, or no TPs? Alright, so I'm going to only base this on Fire Emblem Awakening. When I play Fire Emblem games, there are two main things I need to get through. One, get through it without any characters dying, try 100% as much as you can. Two, find all the perfect relationships between your entire army. Because me being a romance fanatic when it comes to games and anime, yeah, this is kind of a big thing for me. I guess I'll show you my pairings of Fire Emblem Awakening. I won't show any no pairings or any other things. And we're just about to get to a great song in a second. But I guess I will go through the list of my freaking what they're called. My pairings. Also, big shout out to whoever made this Fire Emblem medley. This is the most amazing soundtrack I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. Okay, I'm off track. you're gonna see me going off track a lot, but that's just gonna be me. Anyways, so for our first few pairings, yes, I decided to put like images. I didn't actually get fan art images of all my pairings. Shoutouts to the guy who I took pictures of later on, but shoutouts to all these people who draw these amazing arts. So this is my one true pairing of the entire army, as opposed to just single people. The in my opinion, this is the true story. Like the true 23 Volt says the truth and only the truth. So obviously, Chrom and Sumia, how can you not? Frederick and Lissa, I kind of find their how they're kind of like technically polar opposites, but they're like the closest people you see. Like they're never away from each other, so that's why they work for me. Sully and Stahl, just because they're both the Cavaliers, and I always have my Cavaliers pair up, whether they're both male or male and female. In this case, it was male and female, so congratulations to you two. Virion and Shershay, just because, well, they both come from, I believe Roseanne was the place Virion is the ruler of, so I kind of think that works, in my opinion. Shershay can be a little bit tricky because she has quite a few, especially for this next one. Like these two pairings that I'm going to show, Shershay variant and the other two, I can actually switch between the pairings quite easily, and you would still be okay, but this is how I see it. As for the other pairing, it was Longq and Olivia. Reason being, they're both the very shy type when it comes to certain scenarios. Olivia likes to perform, but doesn't like real people seeing her dance. Longq is a badass, but is just afraid of women. Perfect. And they're both from Ragnar Ferox, so why the hell not? So like here are a few examples of me not being able to find any fan art of them. Crum and Cordelia. Now, before anyone starts hating on me because of this, the reason I put Crum and Cordelia, no, Vake and Cordelia. The reason I have these two is because I find that their connection was sparked off Crom. Vake had a rivalry with Crom. Cordelia had a very huge crush, obsession over Crom. However, Cordelia doesn't have the the option to be Crom's wife, as a reference to the very first Fire Emblem game, where one of the Pegasus Knights, known as Katria, cannot, or has feelings for Marth, but is unable to, support with her, or between the two of them. Anyway, so yeah, I find that Vake and Cordelia can make the best sense. As well as having Vake having Severa, the daughter, is probably the most hilarious thing I've ever seen, especially when you go with the whole father and child conversation between the two. It's amazing. Next we have Kellum and Muriel. It actually took me a while to figure that how they kind of bonded. Kellum, obviously being the unique character with this whole comic trope of, where the hell is Kellum gone? He's such a big guy, but you can never see him. And Muriel being so scientific, I can't even understand 20% of what she's trying to say. But I find that, she's studying Kellum and why he's so easy to miss. And it's apparently because Kellum never had that strong of a relationship with anyone in the army. I mean, everyone in the army are friends, but Kellum never had a pretty close relationship. And speaking of relationships, time for the best song comes up. I'm sorry, this music is amazing. Anyway, yeah, so especially at their A support rank, I actually enjoyed, or didn't enjoy it. I found that quite adorable and cute. On the bottom left, we have Donal and Pan. Okay, so Donal and Pan are, from what I like to call, I saw someone mention this, and I was like, wow, this is perfect in my eyes. Donal and Pan, the reason is because Donal is a farmer, therefore he's a very capable hunter. Okay, and Pan is from a race known as the Targwell, I believe, the Tagwell. Pronunciations in Fire Emblem are key in a good Fire Emblem player, and I do not have that. So, Pan and Donal, Prey and the Hunter. It's like so cliche and perfect. They're complete polar opposites, but it works. Okay, on the right we have Muriel and Rickon, who's on the bottom left, and their son on the right. So Muriel and Rickon, just because in the story, Rickon was the one who pretty much saved Muriel, and you kind of get a lot of backstory between Rickon and Muriel. Rickon is from a very rich they're both from very rich families. However, Rickon is having some very bad financial issues, which I can't remember off the top of my head as to why. But he's yeah, these two kind of really, I love it because she helps him, and she's a very snobby rich girl, and Rickon is just your shoulder, your typical little kid looking guy, which I find funny. Girls dig that in anime, I guess. Anyway, the next few, some people might not like me for this, but Gaius and Tharja. I just find Gaius is a sweet badass of all badasses, second to Longq, in my opinion. And Tharja, when I first played Fire Emblem, Tharja was probably the character I wanted my avatar to marry. Like, it was just perfect. I don't know what it is. She is like a yandere, I believe, and because of her kind of psychotic nature and background, she's just... You can't... Excuse me. It's just enjoyable to watch her go nuts, and I find it funny because these two are one of the top most favorited characters between the Fire Emblem community, and thus got nice little fan arts by the actual producers. So, good job, guys. You chose two great people. On the bottom left, we have Naui and Gregor. This is kind of self-explanatory. You get these two on the same chapter. Gregor was actually rescuing Naui during the time, and though it does seem very pedophile-like. The pedophile technically here would be Naui. Naui is like 1,000 years old, even though she looks like a kid. But Gregor does seem like an old man. And I love him, because he's awesome. Now, why is Anna on the right? Well, just because I didn't want my character... when I played through the game again, I didn't want my character to have a relationship with characters who had the option to marry other ones. Like, for example, you have your main army, and then you have kind of these leftover classes that can only interact with your avatar. Anna is one of them. Why Anna? Because she likes money. She's got the Nurse Joy / Officer Jenny effect. I like her hair. She's just adorable, and because I've played previous Fire Emblem games, I know where Anna is from, so I get the reference. And when Anna became a playable character, that made me so happy! Okay. Continuing on from there. Now we have the second level of kids. Now this is gonna be a pain in the ass, because I'm trying to remember the guy on the top left. I can't believe I'm forgetting him. But, before I do, on the bottom right we have Inigo and Lucina. I love that picture. Inigo and Lucina just because Inigo is... I don't like Inigo's character. He has a Virion-like character, which is why it can work with Olivia and Virion. But it works better with Lon'Qu, because Lon'Qu doesn't like women. Inigo loves women. Perfect. So, yeah, having Inigo and Lucina, because Lucina is obviously the leader, and she's the hope of the army, and Inigo is the very cared, chilled guy. So if you mix those two together, you kind of balance out between the two, and you know, it makes us happy. Next we have Owain and Severa. This was actually hard because Owain, Severa, Kajil, and what the frick is your name? How have I forgotten your name? I can't remember his name. Okay, that guy. I forgot his name. Freaking Mirabelle's daughter. I'll get it eventually. Don't worry, I will get his name. I should remember this. Okay, so Owain and Severa, just because Severa is a bitch, but she's awesome at the same time. Owain is probably the coolest character in the game because he's like a Fire Emblem fanatic into the game itself. He references so much stuff from previous Fire Emblem stories, which is in their world like Tales and stuff. So he just yells out this random BS, which I'm sure everyone would do that in a war. Like, who wouldn't? It's a war in Fire Emblem. Why wouldn't you yell like an idiot, like Owain does? Anyway, so Kajil and that guy, who I forget his name too, I will get his name by the end of this video. So I find these two really adorable because the guy on the left, he is apparently very frail, just because he is a priest class, but he has a very mean look to him. But just because he has a mean look doesn't mean he's like dangerous. He's actually a really frail character. On the opposite side, you have Kajil, who, with all due respect, as a woman, considering like this is actually a thing that Fire Emblem actually did. Sully, who is Kajil's mother, hated how people didn't like how men were seen as to be stronger than women. In this case, Kajil kind of counters that, which is really cool. So to have these two, again, they balance each other out, and it's like these looks can be completely deceiving. It does make me upset that I couldn't find Kajil and that guy as an art, but whatever you get, I guess. Alright, so next we have Jan and Na. I kind of find it that the only reason I really paired these two is because they are both beasts, and in my mind I'm like, I wonder what kind of love child a Targwell and a Manakete would do. And I was really curious. But in the end, I actually enjoyed that kind of story because I think it was one point where Na was actually getting abducted and Yarn saves her. Yarn is a complete coward, so he now has something to protect. And Na, who is a dragon, is actually very defenseless when she's not, you know, she doesn't have her stone. So it works. And that makes me happy. Anyway, on the bottom left we have Noe, I believe her name is, and Laurent. I just kind of like this because Laurent is he turned out from a very boring character into the most freakiest character when you pair him up with this chick. So Noe is known for having her very, very scary outbursts. And when she has a scary outburst, everyone shits themselves. Except for Laurent. Laurent absolutely loves it. He gets, in nice terms, he gets aroused when he sees this happening, and he feels warm inside. He wants it to happen again, yada yada yada. But this is really weird, so I'm gonna leave off from that topic anyway. So yeah, it's Laurent and Noe, whatever. And finally, I think this is probably my favorite pairing between Cynthia and Jerome. Cynthia is your typical, very chattative, loud, annoying Supergirl, and nerdy girl, sorry. And Jerome is the silent, cool type who wears a mask. He's Batman. But yes, these two paired up because apparently it was when they were kids. These two played together a lot, and they would always play heroes. Jerome, finally growing up, wanted to walk away from that, but Cynthia really liked playing heroes with Jerome, and even goes to the point when she says, "I love you," and Jerome gets so confused, he's so flustered, it's like, "Wait, you love me?" And then she goes on about something else, and then Jerome will be like, "Wait, okay, I don't care about that, you said you love me?" And she wouldn't give a shit. So, I don't know, their conversations are ones that I like as well, so, there. And those are my pairings between the two. Any headcanons, I don't really have one, but if this counts, hey, go ahead. This would be really, really weird and interesting, but I'll let the internet figure this stuff out. Okay, so the next is kind of a test to see if you can say these names. Okay, so my avatar's name is Volt, Crom, Vague, Shershay, Fila, Yarn, Pan, Inigo, Plagia, Elise, Wyvern, Cordelia, Lucina, Noer, Priam, Regna Ferox, Yenfei, Owain, Sayri, and finally, Gods. Okay, that's the best I can do with Crom's voice. I wish I could do that better, but hey, I don't know. It's always sad when you hear that, when Crom dies. And you get it a lot in lunatic mode, trust me. It's a pain in the ass. So what's your favorite class? My favorite class in the class tree is Myrmidons, the Sword Masters, which makes me so happy. Just look at these guys. This is all you need to say when you hear why I like Myrmidons and Swordmasters. Every single one of these characters are badass and are really great units. And it's just, in the olden days, Swordmasters, they would have a passive ability that gives them a massive crit boost, and it was always so cool seeing how flashy they would do their attacks. And then when you give them a killing edge, it's just, they're the most dangerous force out there. Another thing, I love the speed. I love the speed. Speed is like one of my most key stats in Fire Emblem. If you don't have speed, you're gonna die. That is a lie, by the way. You don't need speed, but in my case, that's how I play. It's essential in my tactics and stuff. Anyway, so who's your favorite and least favorite character, and why? So, favorite characters. This is going to be just strictly to Fire Emblem Awakening. Favorite characters are Anna, of course, just because she is my quote-unquote waifu, which I'm gonna go talk about waifus later, and Long Hu. When I saw Long Hu for the first time playing the game, I was like, who's this badass? And then I go to the next chapter, I hover over Long Hu, and he's a Myrmidon. I'm like, yep, main guy, main swords guy, he is the man. Because not just his class, his personality, his kill quotes, critical hit quotes, yeah, his kill quotes as well, like when he's defeated an enemy, he's just, who dies next? And all that stuff is just awesome. And I've already talked about Anna. We have, on the least favorite side, Valadar. There's really no characters that I hate, even though these two characters on the right here I don't really like. I don't hate any characters in Fire Emblem. I have yet to find one. Only Valadar, just because he's a douche. And the antagonist, but that's his job, to be a douche, so he's doing the right thing. And then you have this stupid-ass chick, who doesn't believe that you're Crom when you go to, I forgot her name, it's like Raimi, I think her name is? Yeah, she would just stand in front of you when you're trying to go to Ragnarok, it's for your sister, and she doesn't care if you kill she kills your units. If your units die during her being so stupid and not realizing we were Crom, they don't care. The story just continues with those deaths there. And that just makes me sad. Okay, the song's still going. Alright, so favorite support conversations. We have, of course, the good old on the top left side. Oh yeah, Just One Gamer. That's shout outs to you, my friend. You got some great things here. So here are some of them. I guess I'll talk about them, I guess. So on the top left we have actually a censored version. I don't know. I don't have the DLC for the support pack, so I don't know much about this kind of stuff. But there was one support pack where a conversation between Tarja and Naui. Naui would just say to Tarja, "I like your boingy bits," which I'm sure we can all guess what her boingy bits are. With all due respect, she does show a lot of it. So hey, whatever wins for them. Like I said earlier, Frederick and Lissa, just because of the whole... Frederick is a serious trainer, Lissa is the biggest slacker. When you have the two exchange resumes with each other, it's just a funny scene to happen. When you have the female avatar and Crom, I'm not surprised this happened, maybe... And I'm not... Yeah, this is like a very typical anime-like thing to do. To have, you know, the main character accidentally walk in to the main heroine, or heroine, or whatever you call it, female, and a protagonist, sorry, and see them naked, so... Hide? You mean hide? Oh gosh, no, not at all. Oh, wait, what do you mean? I forgot what the thing was about. Oh no, that's him proposing! Oh, the conversations before that were about, them two seeing each other naked, which I found hilarious. Virian and Libra's are so funny, because Virian just keeps seeing Libra as a woman. That's obviously that's a man. Libra's always had that trouble of being seen as a female. However, Virian, being the Virian guy he is, he just always sees her as a female and actually tries hitting on him, which is just great. Not saying I have anything against people like that, it's just funny. Only just because Libra does not like... when anyone sees that... when Libra sees anyone think that he is a woman, he'll go, "I am a man." It's like, you're an idiot. Alright, anyway. On the bottom left we have Long Q and Shosei. Now, between these two, I would actually say this is an okay relationship, as I said earlier, just because of Long Q's past, which was a really, really horrific past, which gave him his phobia towards women. Shosei tells him the rest of the story. What Long Q knows is that a childhood friend protected him, and it was a very close childhood friend to the point of, you know, he had feelings for her. But bandits attack, the girl protects him, she falls in front of him, and he scurries away with that memory engraved in his mind forever. Shosei then comes back saying, because the childhood friend that Long Q was friends with, was from a pretty noble family, and Long Q was raised in the slums. So there you have a noble girl with a slum boy getting along, and obviously the parents weren't exactly thrilled of that happening. Once they heard the death of the girl, they noticed that Long Q actually tried to protect her, so they couldn't hate him. But Long Q always believed that his childhood friend just died, and they thought the parents would have hated him for it because of him. But Shay comes back, tells him the rest of the story, and Long Q's heart has been at ease. He still has a phobia to women, but he now can have a little less thing left. Also, I like the bottom right. This is awesome. Anyway. Favorite critical hit lines. So we know Long Q. So here, I get to voice him. So, Long Q. No hard feelings. I'll make this quick. Be silent. How will you die? That's awesome. And then you have Henry. I haven't spoken about Henry yet, but Henry is also amazing. He's amazing on his own. If you pair him up with anybody, it's also great, because he's like one of the few who can actually marry Sumiya. But anyway. So, Henry's quotes. Have some death! Special delivery! Ha 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 ha! I can't do his laugh. I'm gonna kill you! I love that one so much. Ah! Oh, that was a good one. Anyway, Fredericks. Now, Frederick was a character I didn't want to play as, but when I realized that you can reclass characters so that they can make them stronger again, I played along with Frederick, and my god, he is so awesome! Because I always go with this thing of, okay, the second class unit, or the promoter class unit from the beginning of the game you never use. Always let your younger experienced or lesser experienced units do the fighting, and let the big guy just take care of anything, any scraps, or protect anyone. When I got to use Frederick, his critical hit lines are so awesome! So obviously he's because he's normal. Now! My favorite one. Pick a god and pray. He also has farewell, and another good one. Your last breath approaches. Oh, sorry. Oh god. And finally, we have Noelle, which I am not going to voice in her voice, but I will say this. Blood and thunder! Oh, Jesus, I'm not going to do it again. So she also says, Crackle, time to play! To the abyss with you! And it's like, she has her, like, very dark side come out, and it's awesome. So that's why I like her as well. Obviously, favorite confession and character voice. Do I need to say anything? She's awesome. Okay, so to conclude, because this song's almost over as well, I've gone over for more than half an hour. So, anything else do I need to say? I guess I can say, welcome to this channel. That was a pretty big voice meme for me that I had to do. But, yeah, Fire Emblem is just an amazing, amazing game. On my channel, I won't just be covering Fire Emblem, I'll also be playing other games with my friends. You've also seen some OS gameplay as well. There's some also Osu and TOS, aka Town of Salem. Yeah, and I'll just post random stuff every now and then. At some point, I will get some Fire Emblem games up there again. I want to restart Sacred Stones and get all those games out there, just because in respect to this game that I'm just playing right now, which is going to be an amazing game. Before we do, we have an entire half year to go through before anyone outside Japan gets this game, and that makes me sad. But anyway, to conclude this, we listen to the greatest song in the world. Dun 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 dun. And this is the true 23-volt, and I will be signing out of this game. I will end my turn, and see you guys next time for the next video. Sayonara, people. Later.